Bienvenidos, Geminis. Welcome to your April 2025 readings. So at this time, I invite you to just surrender into the now moment by taking a deep inhale through your nose. Hold, center, anchor into now, and exhale slowly out the nose. I give thanks for you taking the time of day to be here for your message, for honoring your higher self, your soul's guidance over here into this space. This reading is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. However, if you are none of those signs and your soul has guided you here, you could either be a cross watcher, or there could be a message from the Gemini collective in your natal chart that is trying to give you a message here for you. The Gemini parts of your essence, because we have all zodiac signs in our charts, just they form different aspects, or maybe no aspects, but they may just be connected to a certain house and whatnot. So anyways, just taking this moment here to step our egos to the side so that the Most High, most divine and benevolence and truth and righteous and perfect love and perfect trust can use me as a divine messenger for your highest and greatest good. I affirm that all messages that come through is to serve your highest and greatest good, although this is a general collective message. And so it does require you to have discernment, to meditate with source and your higher self for the full confirmation. However, if a message resonates, you know your message, you know your life. If a message does not resonate, I invite you to sit with your higher self, step your ego to the side. And if the message is in fact for your highest and greatest good, and a message that maybe you just are resistant to, you don't want to resonate with it, but it is the truth, that truth is revealed onto you with tangible confirmation from your spiritual team here. Okay, if that message is absolutely not your message, then let it get the fuck up out of your psyche, out of your mind, your body, your spirit, your aura, your reality, so that you are not being projected upon. That is my will, that is my affirmation. So we're gonna get into some bones here just to see the current energy for the month of April for my Geminis here. So Geminis here, what messages? Is it just one? Wow, I had other ones come through. Oh, okay. Oh, I like this energy. All right, Gemini. Very interesting. Very, very, very dominating energy here with the leg here. Your path, your journey, which makes sense. Y'all, Mercury has just stationed direct, and Mercury is your natural ruler. And so Mercury is direct in the sign of Pisces, and then we'll be going back into Aries and so on and so forth. What I'm seeing here before I move it to the other space here is what was once broken is now fixed, or you can't fix what isn't broken. Two stories. So let me actually get into it. What I feel here is that you are embarking on a journey that is in divine alignment with your strength here, that is in divine alignment with your soul's purpose here. This journey here is really, it's strong, it's stable. I believe that April is really going to bring you into a space that is a lot more grounded here for you. Maybe you did a lot of traveling, or you did a lot of, maybe you work at a school, or you do a lot of public speaking. Whatever the case, During Mercury's retrograde is what I'm sensing, that this energy happened here during Mercury's retrograde for you to, or this could even just be an energy for some of you. For some of you, it was during Mercury's retrograde, and during April, you're coming to a stable foundation. For others of you, this could be in the beginning half of April that you are truly being seen, the people, places, situations that have been detrimental to your journey, that aren't showing up with integrity, with morality, that, you know, it's like you have to learn to discern who's speaking a good talk, like who's talking a good talk, and who's really about it. You had to come to a space of strengthening your perfect love and perfect trust with yourself. And once you did that, you knew how to have the discernment to know who the fuck is not really in your best interest, is kind of what I'm getting here. What I'm getting is there's still some emotions in your emotional body that is being released though, in regards to this energy, but the lesson or the wisdom is definitely learned, is kind of what I'm getting here. You're not letting people just sweet talk you, or you're not letting people just kind of speak to you how they feel like speaking to you, or fake the funk. Like masks are really, 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 let me do it this way. Masks are really being revealed to you during the month of April. This could also be like, whether it's family, friends, you really come to a space. I feel like with family, there's a space of learning independency while still honoring family here, like just really coming into yourself and who you know yourself to be, not who you have learned yourself to be based on your family here. But nonetheless, really more walking in a successful path here, fact checking the bullshit or just what people say. Because it's like you do like to speak life into the lives of others, and maybe people were taking advantage of you, or they were just, you know, knowing how to talk sweet because they knew that you knew how to like hold down foundations and get resources and whatnot, and just maybe these people weren't the right ones for you. And I feel like during the retrograde, you've seen that. And during April, you really come to learn those lessons. So if you have not seen that already, be the observer during the month of April and see what shows out in regards to that, because it's highly likely that when it comes down, especially to like your friends, even like you are coming to a space of gaining discernment as to who's your real friends and who has good integrity and morality, and is the principles align with your principles. Okay, all right, Gemini, so let's start getting into your cards here. I'm just gonna see here, I did pre-shuffle. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Temperance here. I'm just going to pre-shuffle here. I mean, I did already pre-shuffle. I'm just going to shuffle one more time here and see what messages you have here coming up for you. This is your current energy for the month of April. Oh, yep. Some major transformations here. Lots of celebration and happiness. So this is definitely some ancestor renovation here happening here. Spiritual lessons, sacred marriages. Here you have two major arcanas. So this energy in the month of April is very, very important. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles here. So this very much lets me know that this is part of your soul's contract here. You know, this is definitely divinely aligned with the changes. So the people that you've had to let go, the people that showed themselves to be, you know, whether they were player haters or they just weren't really in alignment with your principles and morality here. They're really, you know, put you in a space to transform your ways of being, your ways of thinking here. I also feel like this brought you into a space of a greater alignment when it comes down to the people that's in your life right now. You're letting bygones be bygones, the past be behind you, and really moving on, even though, like, honoring the sacred, honoring the path of transformation, while honoring the ancestors here is really what I see. I see you as a person that honors the ancestors here with divine love frequency here. And you could possibly be a medium, or someone who sees, you know, those that have transitioned or spoke to them. Whatever the case may have, you know, you can be a death doula. You can be just someone that is on a new spiritual journey. This doesn't necessarily have to be someone who is considers themselves a medium or that sees spirit per se, but you're definitely coming into a new transformation, a new body of self here, a rebirth process. But beyond this rebirth process in your current state here, there's people in your life right now that is divinely aligned with your morals and integrity, and truly have the best interests in your life here. So I feel like whoever needed to leave, it was best that they left. It was best that the ending of those people, places, and situations occurred so that the material wellness of your abundance and prosperity can come to fruition here. There was a need to let go of some addiction issues is kind of what I'm seeing here, whether this is alcoholism. Maybe some of you are being called to do a fasting. Maybe you have a this could be a marriage, right? So a husband or a wife who has some addictive tendencies and issues that they have to maybe put to an end here. And Spirit is just kind of showing you about this problem here and how it's just not in alignment anymore with the growth of this marriage. That can be a possibility. This can be somebody that was dealing with some addictive issues that now is in a space of sobriety and honoring you know, their marriage, you know, bringing forgiveness and reconciliations in an area that maybe they were letting their shadows get the best of them and they weren't really facing. I also feel like there's a lot of emotional transmutation that's happening here, or somebody is going to be learning how to transmute and transform their emotional body through emotional intelligence into emotional regulation accordingly, so that they can be in the divine wisdom of their highest and greatest good, the divine wisdom of their philosophy of life. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit more information here. Tell me a little bit more here for these Geminis here. I do feel like some of you work at a school or work with children or something like that, and so there's a big emphasis in like managing your emotional body here. I feel like you've also come a long way. There could also be a family member or a father figure here that is it's in regards to like making sure you're doing some detoxes and cleanses in regards to your physical body or your emotional body, so that, yeah, soul contract wanted to jump out. And I felt soul contract in the bottom of the deck too. So it says this person or situation has a soul contract with you to elevate your next level. Now is the time to review this contract and the terms and conditions. You can keep and change or rescind this connection. I really do feel like with death here, there could be some sort of ending or recension here. Some of you may be, you know, finding yourself having a divorce and being single, or some of you can go from being single to getting married. It can go either which way. You know your message here. These two fell down. Any other messages here for my Geminis? Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, any messages for my Geminis here? That's a lot of cards. I'm not going to take them. So many cards. Let me see here. Let me just get 2 more cards here, unless more comes out. For my Geminis here. Tell me more for my Geminis in the month of April. So I did post, tell me a little bit more for my Geminis here. All right, there we go. Clairaudience. Some of you may have the ability to listen. I felt that, right? Like mediumship energy, listening and hearing spirit here, or connecting with spirits that have transitioned. Your ancestors may have a message for you. We do see that dragons have a message here for you. You may hear ringing in your ears, or think that you're dealing with like different forms of tinnitus or whatever, but it says clairaudience. You have the ability to hear spirit, more open to auditory perspective, experiences, sound in depth, can pick up hidden messages through sound. So this is like when someone is speaking, you can hear the sound frequencies, the difference in their voice, when they're telling the truth, when they're telling a lie, when they're happy, when they're sad. Like you can truly hear the difference of vibration through sound. Or even just when you listen to particular sounds, you can feel it all through your body, or you can hear subliminal messages that other people cannot physically hear. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave that out here. I'm going to put that there. And then let me just like bring this down here. All right, and let's see what other cards came out here for you. Wow. Yeah, you can be a light worker. Spell work can be very significant to you. Clairvoyance, so you can also have the gift of sight. Like I said, you could definitely be a medium here. Oh wow, we have a lot of, so we have telekinesis here. Let me do this here. Clairaudience, clairvoyance, telekinesis. This is really, really powerful shit. These cards have not came out for other collectives here. Okay. All right. So Geminis, during the month of April, this is a lot of messages. I have not pulled these many cards for the other collectives, but I'm just honoring the messages that's coming through. So we have dragons have a message for you. You have a connection with them, and they do not work with everyone. There are many types, and they are private. Honor their wisdom, and they will guide you and protect you. So funny enough, we are going to pull some dragon cards that I did pull for every collective, but I'm also feeling strongly that if you have not already, there was a pick a card reading that I did where dragons had a message also came out for this week ahead. I feel like there could be additional messages there for you. I'm also getting like the Chinese zodiac. Probably you're the year of the dragon. That can be significant as well. Or you just already consciously know that you have a connection with the dragons. I feel like that message is very specific for those of you who know that you have a connection with the dragons here, okay? Someone who is very much a light worker and very in tune with how to move energy. And there's a need for you to, I guess this says slow down. Slow down for overextending yourself. Ooh-wee. For overspending, overeating, overtalking, driving too fast, rushing your process. Now is the time for patience and slow. What the hell is this? My handwriting. Oh, slow pace to win. Y'all, my handwriting can be quite a character sometimes. All right. And then right next to it, it says you have a strong connection to water. Speak life into your water. Drink more water. Water scrying. Spiritual baths. Water fountains. Bodies of water. Meditate in water. Clean the water. Beaches, rivers, etc. So strong connection with water is also the emotional body here. Like I mentioned, the clairaudience, we have clairvoyance here. So you possibly have the ability to see beyond the physical. You know, it says you have the ability to perceive visions, images, symbols, or spirits that are not visible to the physical eye. You may be a seer. The ability to do remote viewing, ability to mind walk, okay? Then we have telekinesis. You have the ability to move things with your mind. This ability is important for you to practice right now. Practice different strategies to expand. Okay, and we do have study here, so this could be like even studying your own light work, your own energy here. Maybe you're going to take on a new study here. We'll see. And then it says light worker. Now is the time to shine your love and light onto all spaces, realms, and dimensions. Let your light cast away shadows or expose them. Affirm your light. Purify and protect you. Affirm your light purifies and protects you. Heal with your light. And we have spell work. This situation involves spell work or requires some spell casting to occur to change the current energy. Do a spell to align with your highest good and protection. Then we have study. This situation calls for you to study more information on this topic. Study the behaviors and psychology of the people involved. Perhaps you are unlearning to relearn how and what to study new information. Whoo! Remember how I said that if you are part of the collective that haven't experienced those people shadows showing themselves, be the observer. Study the psychology and the behaviors of those people. If you've already witnessed it, you're in the space of being a light worker already. There may be some spell work. Maybe there was spell work. Maybe you rescinded some spell work, or you canceled some spell work, or you're going to do some spell work to bring elevation onto yourself here, onto the collective, this could also be a sacred union. Like I said, for some of you, this is directly like you letting your past be completely behind you, and you're walking into a new space with like a sacred marriage and like people who are equally yoked to you and successful, and like things didn't work out in the past because they weren't meant to. I really like this energy here. All right, so Spirit, tell me a little bit more. I'm gonna grab. Tell me a little bit more, and I'm just trying to see how I'm gonna actually put this together here, because there's so much more cards here that I actually have some incense on the table. Okay. Alrighty. Whoa, that was fast. Oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. There is definitely some sacred marriages going on here. There is a reunion. Let's see here. Tell me a little bit more about the month of April here. Because we have the high priestess and we have the high priest here. So there is a divinely aligned feminine and masculine energies. This can be that you are aligned with your feminine and masculine energies. This could also be that you connect with, and because, you know, with this death card here, this could have just been that certain endings needed to occur, like I mentioned, so that the fulfillment of success and happiness could happen in the month of April here. Tell me a little bit more. One more here for my Geminis. There we go. There we go. So the King of Wands came out in reverse here. So this could have been that can't pick that up. Sorry, y'all. The bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Cups here. All right. So I feel like with the King of Wands energy in reverse here, there was a misuse of power or misuse of divine masculine energies. There could have been people that was involved in the situation that weren't holding the principle of a divine masculine energy, or they weren't holding themselves accountable with integrity and love. And there was definitely, that's part of the death with the masculine energy here. I feel like this is like a death process to toxic masculinity. So whether you are a man or a woman watching this, there could have been an imbalance with your masculine and feminine energies that was being reflected out to your peers, to the people you surround yourself with, right? That you call yourself friends, that you in your own family, right? There was like some toxic masculine energies that maybe some residual that was going on here and creating an imbalance. And then you possibly did some shadow work or some reevaluation to balance this masculine energy out, to tap into the Hierophant here. You allowed yourself to really step your ego to the side. And because when the King of Wands is in reverse, it can be very narcissistic. It can be very abusive. It can be someone who is misusing their energy of power, misusing their power because they know that they have the power, as opposed to someone that's using it with integrity, or someone who's just not doing their due diligence. Maybe they're being very immature. They don't know how to make healthy decisions, or they're not keeping up with their promises, or they just don't know how to handle a foundation. They don't practice stability. It's like a false king here, right? Someone who maybe carries some resentments or anger in their heart. Or this could even be like someone that was not taking action to move forward when the divine was guiding them to move forward here, right? Like maybe you were just too in your feminine, or maybe you ignored the messages. Whatever the case may be, if this is in regards to family, there's a major healing that's happening in the month of April when it comes down to father figures, when it comes down to divine masculine energies here. This is allowing you to reconcile the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the Holy Spirit of the child within here, and really allowing yourself to honor reciprocal relationships. If you maybe had a group of friends that just, you know, all they valued was drinking all the time or being abusive or whatever, just, you know, partying all the time, and that's no longer something that you value, then I can see you walking away from that in the month of April and coming to a space of more stillness. See how we have like slowed down, and the high priestess and the high priest, he's moving, but he's moving with the mind, right? He's moving with telekinesis. He's moving with, you know, his light work, right? She's moving with, like, you know, she's allowing clairaudience. She's allowing clairvoyance here. We have study here, right? And so the high priest and the high priestess here, they study the spirituality, right? The gifts here. And so I do feel like you're now in harmony. Like I mentioned, I kind of feel like a broken record, but you're in alignment here with people that are divinely aligned for you and in conjunction here. The guardian at the gate in the bottom of the deck. If you work at a school, if you work with children here, I do feel like there's going to be a celebration for all your hard work paying off, for all the studying that you have done here. And maybe you just needed to take a break if you were studying something, or if you're a student, right? You could be a student here. This could also be pertaining to, you know, maybe to be upright and confident here with the King of Wands, right? To be upright and confident, it required you to sit in your throne and make the decisions. However, maybe you were impulsively ignoring the guidance and just roaming around everywhere, you know, doing other things. And you had to learn the lesson the hard way. So this could have been past energy, or this could be something that's coming up here. Nonetheless, regardless if you are a man or a woman, your internal masculine energy, as well as your external masculine energy, is going through a collective healing in the DNA, in the RNA, for the ascension of your highest good and the collective, which is why we have light worker here. Okay, there's a lot of healing, a lot of light that's coming into this space here. And what I love here with the high priestess and the 3 of cups here is during the month of April, you may be rejoicing with some spiritual sisters, or connecting with a spiritual guru. This could be you know, maybe you creating a foundation, or this could be a partying, a gathering, a get together, a healing session. Because there's so much going on here, there's a lot of stillness and movement, but there's a lot of material happiness and celebration here for that which needed to come to an end. There needed to be a death to this toxic masculine energy here. That needed to come to an end for the wellness of emotional safety, emotional fulfillment, right? Sacred marriage between the wise ones, right? So Spirit, tell me a little bit more. Give me some advice for my Geminis here. Sorry, I don't even know if I pulled this out for the other. I did. Geminis for the month of April. Whoa. Whoa, the sun wanted to pop up. Whoa, whoa. Ooh, we have he of the fiery sword. Told you, masculine energy, straight the fuck up. A collective of pixies. I told you, this is collective energy. This is pertaining to the sacred collective of the masculine, the single transfiguration. Wow. And even though this is the 2 card, it just looks like the number 11, and the number 11 is here. So 1111 can be significant 44 can be significant, or 8, and 8448 here. We have 444 up in here too. In the bottom of the deck here, we have the number 30 with Lumi. Okay. Woo, I am sweating. These channels are so serious, so for real. So with the collective of Pixies, I feel like this is really like just the inner child bringing in. I'm really just, when the singers come through, right? These are considered singers. When the singers come through, this is very, very, very high vibrational energy. This is when it's really, and in the bottom of the deck, when I did pre-shuffle, and I didn't see what was in the bottom of the deck till now, was the Guardian at the gate, which is about passages to a new life opening. And we see him in many ways, each one an aspect of his total being. All of the great gods and protectors are aspects of this power. The fiery sword is an archetype of all magical and mundane swords, and written upon the blade are the words, "Draw me not without cause, nor return me without honor." A member of the Oracle group says his fiery sword illuminates truth and dispels not truths here. Again, so the integrity. So this card, the presence of the fiery sword's master in a reading can indicate that there's a need for clear and focused will and determination to carry through on decisions, even if much effort is required, or he can tell us that such will and strength in present regard to the issues under consideration, we need to consider how he is expressing his will and his strength, and how that expression may be enhanced or improved. It is this singer's energy that enables us to burst the bonds of an outgrown way of being and move on to the next level. He indicates that this is a time to take action based on clear spiritual will. His presence indicates a great strength and great potential for good. It also reminds us that if we call upon him, we will receive assistance. The presence of this card in a reading radiates strength and willpower to the cards around it. I love that. I love that. So really just stepping into your power. I don't know if you felt drawn to Aries reading, but there may be some significance to Aries reading as well, due to Neptune now in the sign of Aries, and Chiron is going to be conjoined the sun in the sign of Aries during the full moon. And this feels like collective energy. So for transcendence, for transformation, for metamorphosis, right? So that might be something that you want to take a look at here. All right. And then we're going to get into a final card. Now, if you've seen that the camera was moving around, I apologize, y'all. My phone ran out of memory, and I had to delete some stuff to put the memory in. But a collective of Pixie is about willingness, duty, joyful participation, and virtue. What is needed here is not an awareness of duty, but a merry approach to it. The job has to be done, so one might as well do it willingly. Process through this dance maze step by step, lightly. Take joy and pride in achievements. Approach the work with zeal, zest, and zinc, and perhaps even a little zaniness as well. Zaniness. Otherwise, you might as well not bother. Well, almost. There is something about this lighthearted approach to your duty that is important at this time in order to achieve the results you want. Additionally, consider the words collective and cooperative as you make plans. This situation may take more than one person, perhaps several, working together to achieve the desired results. Joining forces with others is appropriate at this time. Seek the cooperation of family, friends, co-workers, and fairies as appropriate. All right, I love that energy. So as a final advice, final card here, if you are a teacher and you work at a school, I feel like this is like a massive graduation here. This is like collective working together here. In the bottom of the deck here, we have Golden Solar Dragon, helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Wow. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. I'm gonna leave that out just because, like, I pre-shuffled the deck for Gemini's energy, and I didn't just leave it out for the other cards, but this is so fucking prominent to your energy, Geminis. Like, there's so much masculine energy coming through here for you. All right, dragons. What advice, closing card, final outcome for the month of April for my Geminis here? What other messages? Let's see if anything even wants to like come out. There we go. Okay. Orange gold dragon from Arcturus, open to the knowledge of a new golden age. Carry the energy of the future. Be a guiding light. And we have Lightworker here, so I'm going to leave that out also. The card that fell out, Air Dragon. Oh, fuck. Y'all are air signs. This is so perfect, so divine. Helps you rise above earthly matters. Communicate honestly. Brings inspiration and hope. See life from a higher perspective. This is so fucking powerful. You know, when it says slow down, this could be maybe just traveling or overthinking, whatever, something about like slowing down here. Maybe slowing down to study or like whatever, like it's something about like not missing the scenery here. And to be a light worker, you know, it's like there's something that I like to say, and I've actually expressed this. So those of you who don't know, my mom is a Gemini, and one thing I loved about having a Gemini parent is, you know, she was very big on learning lessons, and really big on like, if you don't learn something new every day, are you even living? But also in the space where she's always on the go. And I've had to like share with her and other Geminis before the importance of like just slowing down for a moment or pacing, because sometimes when you slow down, you achieve more. Sometimes when you're too fast and impulsive, you end up having to backtrack and do it twice, or having to do things over. So take your time with this process here. Allow time for patience here. Maybe you have patience, maybe you didn't have patience before, but just taking your time with your new endeavors here is like, forever is a long time, even if it's just a moment. So honor it with the timing that's there. But I feel like with slow down, you're gonna know what's that pertaining to. I don't feel like that's everyone's message here. Definitely connecting with water, the emotional body, and spell work may be significant as well. I'm feeling that very strongly. And some of you are very connected to Arcturus collective, so you'll know if that's your message. You definitely have a connection with Arcturus, with mediumship, with dragons, with light work, telekinesis in general. Overall, that's your message, Gemini. I don't want to keep holding you up. Happy April. May this message serve you for your highest and greatest good, and peace, y'all.